What do you do when the people you'd bleed for carve your heart out and call it love? I asked myself that on October 12, 2024, a day that should have been sacred. My name's Elena Carter. I'm 33, a graphic designer who once believed in forever. That Saturday was supposed to be a quiet one. I'd planned to sketch by the river, let the water wash away old aches. Instead, I stood outside a little chapel on Willow Street, clutching an invitation I wasn't meant to get. My ex-husband, James, was marrying my sister, Lila. The air smelled of autumn, crisp leaves, faint lavender from bouquets spilling out the doors. 10 years ago, I'd walked down that aisle in white, under a sky so blue it felt like a promise. Now my black dress clung too tight, heels sinking into gravel. My hands shook as I smoothed the paper invite. Out of courtesy, Lila had texted 2 days back. Test, maybe. Or a taunt. I told myself I didn't care anymore. James had left me 3 years ago, after months of lies. Lila swore she'd never cross that line. Yet here we were. Inside, the organ hummed soft and low. Guests chattered, their voices a dull buzz. I slipped into the back pew hidden by shadows. James stood at the altar, broad shoulders squared in a gray suit. Lila glowed in white, her smile too bright, too practiced. My stomach twisted. This wasn't love. It was a theft dressed up as a fairy tale. I should have walked away, but something pinned me there, a thread of defiance I couldn't cut. What would you do if the people you die for disappeared without a word? Drop your answer below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Cheating Stories Diary, because this is just the start. It began 6 months earlier on a rainy April night. I sat on my couch, legs curled under a blanket, scrolling Instagram. The Merlot in my glass glowed red against the dim lamp. Lila's story flickered up, a snapshot of her hand on a man's shoulder. His face was cropped out, but the jacket sleeve stopped me cold. Charcoal gray, a faint pinstripe. My pulse quickened. I'd bought James that jacket 4 years back, wrapped it in silver paper for his 40th. My hands shook as I swiped again. Another post. A coffee shop table, 2 cups, his watch glinting in the corner. The same watch I'd engraved with always, E. A promise he'd worn until he walked out. Disbelief hit like a slap. I set the glass down, liquid trembling. Couldn't be. Lila wouldn't dare. James wouldn't stoop that low. But doubt slithered in cold and sharp. I grabbed my phone, opened old texts. March 15th. Lila to me. Dinner tonight? Just us. I've been too tired to go. Then a memory, his coat on the hall rack last month. I'd fished out a receipt. La Rosa, $87.42. Dinner for 2. We'd never eaten there together. My chest tightened. Shadows stretched across the room, the silence buzzing in my ears. I dug deeper, a detective in my own ruin. January 3rd, 2:17 a.m. A message from Lila I'd brushed off. I'm sorry, Elle. I didn't mean for it to happen. I thought she'd fought with her boyfriend. Sent her a heart emoji. Gone back to sleep. Now, it glared at me. A confession I'd missed. My fingers hovered over her name. Call her? Demand answers? No. I needed more. I opened his old laptop, still logged into his email from years back. A search for Lila. Dozens of hits. Meet me at 7. Missed you today. She doesn't suspect. Confirmation sank in heavy as stone. My knees buckled. I sat, staring at the screen, the truth a blade in my gut. The days after were a haze of jagged edges. I'd wake to a tight chest, the ceiling pressing down. Every memory replayed, warped. James's late nights in 2021. He'd said work. Lila's visits, her perfume lingering too long in the hall. I trusted them, built a life on sand. Now it crumbled. My sketches piled up, half finished, ink smudged by shaking hands. Coffee went cold in mugs I forgot to drink. The silence screamed louder than I could bear. Anger came in waves. I'd grip the counter, knuckles white, imagining their lies. Heartbreak followed, soft and suffocating. I'd see his hoodie in the closet. Navy blue, frayed cuffs, and collapse. Silent tears soaked my pillow, breaths hitching in the dark. I blamed myself. Too busy with deadlines? Too blind to their glances? My reflection stared back, hollow-eyed, a stranger in my own skin. Guilt gnawed deeper. I'd introduced them at my 30th birthday, proud of my family. Watch Sophie, Lila's daughter, call him Uncle James. Her tiny arms around his neck. I'd made this possible. One night, I drove to Lila Street. Rain streaked the windshield, blurring her house. Her car sat in the drive, his truck beside it. Lights glowed warm through the curtains. I parked, hands trembling on the wheel. A shadow moved, his arm around her waist. My throat burned. I wanted to storm in, smash their smug little world. Instead, I sat, rain drumming, tears hot on my cheeks. The anger hardened, a coal glowing in my chest. I drove home, soaked and empty, plotting. October 11th, the day before their wedding. I called Lila. She answered, voice thin. Elena, you okay? No, I said, ice in my tone. Why him? Pause, long and heavy. It just happened. We didn't plan. Didn't plan? I cut in. You planned every lie, every touch. You were done with him, she said, sharp. The divorce was final. And that made it fine to take my sister's place? My voice shook. You're my blood, Lila. She sighed, unsteady. I love him. I'm sorry you're hurt. Don't. I gripped the phone. You don't get to love him and call it sorry. She went quiet. I hung up, breath ragged. James texted an hour later. Let's talk. Please. I met him at a diner, neon flickering outside. He sat across from me, stubble dark, eyes tired. I didn't want you to find out like this, he said. Find out. I leaned in, voice low. You hid it for months. Smiled while you lied. I didn't mean to hurt you. He looked away. It grew between us. Grew. I laughed, sharp and bitter. You don't stumble into my sister's bed. He flinched, hands flat on the table. I still care about you, Elena. Then why didn't you fight for us? My eyes burned. Why her? Silence. His jaw tightened. I saw Sophie's face in my mind, her confusion tomorrow. You broke more than me, I said. You broke her too. I know, he whispered. I hate myself for it. Good. I stood, chair scraping. See you at the altar. His head snapped up. Elena. But I was gone, the door slamming shut behind me. Do you think they really felt guilty? Or just sorry they got caught? Tell us below. That night, sleep didn't come. The coal in my chest flared. I wouldn't let them dance over my grave. At dawn, I called my lawyer. Divorce is done, she said. House is yours. Half the savings. I smiled, thin and cold. We'd kept a joint credit card for emergencies, he'd said. I logged in, froze it. No more dinners on my dime. I checked the security cam in the garage. Still active from when he lived here. A hunch. He'd parked there last week. Footage showed him with Lila, laughing, her hand in his pocket. I saved it, evidence locked tight. Revenge took shape. The wedding was tomorrow, public, perfect, a stage. I'd go. I'd wait. The officiant's line, speak now or forever hold your peace, echoed in my skull. One question, calm and lethal, would shatter their lie. No scene. Just truth. I rehearsed it, lips moving in the dark. Does she still whisper my name when she dreams? It'd hit like a blade, expose the rot they'd buried. But doubt crept in. Was I overreacting? I saw us on our first date, 2012. James humming Chasing Cars, his hand warm in mine. Lila at our wedding, toasting us with tears in her eyes. Love once lived here. Could I destroy it? Sophie's braids flashed in my mind, her trust in them both. She'd lose them in the fallout. My resolve wavered. I poured tea, chamomile steam rising, and sat. The mug burned my palms. What if I let them have it? Walked away clean? Then I replayed the footage, his smirk, her giggle. The waiver died. They'd chosen this. I buttoned my coat, the fabric rustling like a promise. In the mirror, my eyes glinted, hard and sure. The radio played faintly, chasing cars. And I turned it off. Some bridges burn so you can cross alone. October 12th, 2024. The chapel smelled of wax and roses. I sat in the back, dressed dark against the pastel crowd. James fidgeted at the altar. Lila's veil shimmered. The officiant droned on, voice steady. Then it came. If anyone knows any reason these two should not be wed, speak now or forever hold your peace. I stood. The room froze. Heads turned. A gasp rippled through. Lila's eyes widened, hand clutching James's. He went rigid, jaw tight. I let the silence grow, thick and suffocating. Every eye bore into me. I felt the weight, but my voice stayed calm. I have one question, I said, clear and slow. James, does she still whisper my name when she dreams? The air snapped. Lila's face drained white. James's mouth opened, closed. Whispers erupted, soft at first, then loud. What did she say? Is it true? Someone coughed, awkward and sharp. Lila reached for him. James, don't. He pulled back, eyes darting between us. Is it? He asked her, voice low. Tell him, I said. Tell them all. She stammered. She's lying. She's just. Am I? I stepped forward. What about the texts, Lila? The ones you sent me at 2 a.m., begging me to take him back. The crowd buzzed. James's mother stood, face pale. Sophie in the third row frowned, confused. Lila's hands shook. James turned away, shoulders slumping. I didn't need more. I buttoned my coat, walked down the aisle. Their stares burned my back, but my steps stayed steady. Outside, the wind hit me cold, clean. I breathed deep, lungs full for the first time in months. Voices spilled from the chapel. James's sharp. Answer me. Lila's faint. I didn't mean. Chaos unfolded behind me. Their perfect day in shards. I didn't look back. 3 weeks later, Sophie called. Mom's a mess, she said. Uncle James moved out. I hugged her that weekend. Promised I'd always be there. Lila texted once, I'm sorry, but I didn't reply. James faded into silence. The house felt mine again. Sketches lining the walls. No ghosts in the corners. I lost a husband, a sister. But standing there, speaking my truth, I found something stronger. The ring I'd worn for years sits in a drawer now, a quiet reminder. Some bonds break so you can mend yourself. Have you ever been left behind by someone you trusted with your life? Share your story below, because stories like these deserve to be told. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. The next story, you won't see it coming.